Have you ever noticed how nearly every culture tells tales about strange, mythical creatures? For some, belief in these beings begins in childhood. Others dismiss the stories entirely, while a few insist they have seen something with their own eyes. Over time, many of these creatures have become enduring urban legends. Stay with us, because by the end, you'll uncover 7 beings whose stories blur the line between legend and reality. Let's begin with a creature so deadly it could kill with a single peek. The basilisk, often called the king of serpents. According to old legends from the Middle Ages, this bizarre creature was said to come from an egg laid by a rooster and hatched by a toad. Strange, right? Imagine a cross between a serpent and a rooster, with the terrifying ability to set things ablaze or bring death just by looking at them. Descriptions of the basilisk vary. In some stories, it looked like a massive snake, similar to a cobra. In others, it had legs or even wings, almost like a small dragon. But its most feared trait? Its gaze. One look was enough to kill. But the creature had a weakness. 2, actually. One was its own reflection. If it happened to see itself in a mirror, that deadly look would turn back on it, causing it to die on the spot. The second was the crow of a rooster. For reasons unexplained, that sound alone was said to make the basilisk collapse and die instantly. The basilisk wasn't just part of scary bedtime stories. It became a powerful symbol. During medieval times, it appeared on shields and family emblems, often used to represent danger, power, or untouchable strength. And today, the legend still lives on. You'll find the basilisk in books, movies, and video games, continuing its role as one of the most legendary and feared creatures in myth. The next creature is one almost everyone has heard of: Godzilla, the towering monster from Japan and an enduring icon of modern culture. Unlike the others on this list, Godzilla is purely fictional, but its impact on culture is so vast it has become a legend in its own right. Godzilla is a massive reptilian beast, standing well over 300 feet tall, armored with thick scales, and known for unleashing a devastating radioactive breath. More than its fearsome appearance, Godzilla represents the overwhelming force of nature itself. This creature first appeared in the 1954 Japanese film Gojira. It was created as a symbol of the deep fear surrounding nuclear weapons in the wake of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Over time, Godzilla's role shifted from destroyer to protector, even a reluctant hero in many stories. Interestingly, in later films, Godzilla faces off against other legendary beasts, such as Mothra, King Ghidorah, and King Kong. While its look has evolved across decades, the jagged back and sweeping tail have remained unmistakable. Godzilla grew into far more than a movie monster. It became a cultural landmark. The character has appeared in political commentary, parodies, music videos, and countless advertisements. In Japan, statues stand in its honor, and its famous roar is so unique it has been trademarked. With more than 30 films, along with comics, games, and animated series, Godzilla holds a place as one of cinema's most recognizable figures. Though such a creature never walked the earth, Godzilla endures as a striking example of how fear can take shape and turn into legend. From a beast that rose from the sea of imagination, we move to one said to rise from the sea itself with a song too beautiful to resist. The next creature seems enchanting at first glance, but its origins are far more sinister. The mermaid, also known as the siren. Most people picture the storybook version, a beautiful maiden with a fish's tail, sitting on a rock, and singing about love. Yet the earliest legends told a much darker story. In ancient seafaring lore, particularly within Norse and Celtic traditions, mermaids were feared beings. They lured sailors with voices so captivating that ships would drift off course, smashing against rocks, with entire crews vanishing without a trace. These dangerous figures were often called sirens. Descriptions from old tales speak of sharp teeth, pale skin, long claws, and eyes that glowed in the dark. Few realize that in early folklore, sirens were not even linked to the sea. They were half-woman, half-bird creatures. Over time, that image blended with stories of sea maidens, giving rise to the hybrid myth recognized today. Modern culture has softened this terrifying image. Consider Disney's The Little Mermaid, a far cry from the deadly sirens of old. Still, some recent films have returned to the original menace, such as the horror film The Siren, 2016, and the unsettling The Lighthouse, Lighthouse, 2019. Do mermaids truly exist? Science says no. Yet sailor accounts, unexplained disappearances, and strange footage from the depths keep the legend alive. Not all legends dwell in the ocean. Some walk among us during the coldest nights, carrying chains and a name whispered to frighten children. Number 4 on our list is Krampus. While children in alpine villages look forward to gifts from St. Nicholas, there is also a darker figure spoken of in hushed tones, the horned demon who appears at Christmas to punish the misbehaving. Krampus is described as a terrifying blend of satyr and wild beast, cloaked in thick fur, with twisted horns and chains and bells rattling with every movement. In one hand, he wields birch branches to strike those who have been bad, and in the other, he carries a sack or basket to haul them away into the woods, or perhaps to an even worse fate. Krampus serves as the shadowed counterpart to Santa Claus. His legend comes from Austrian, German, and other alpine traditions, tracing back to pre-Christian times. In the 1950s, Austria even attempted to outlaw the Krampus figure, fearing he would traumatize children. Despite these efforts, the story endured. Today, Krampus celebrations are common across parts of Europe, with parades where costumed figures stalk the streets, terrifying onlookers. In 2015, the creature even took center stage in a horror film that bears his name. Is there any truth to the Krampus myth? There is no proof he exists, yet the legend still chills hearts, especially on the darkest nights of winter. While one terror lurks in snowy villages, another roams the dense forests, leaving behind only fleeting footprints and endless questions. Next comes Bigfoot, one of the most famous legendary creatures in North America. Bigfoot is described as a towering, hairy, ape-like figure, standing over 7 feet tall. His appearance is often said to fall somewhere between an ancient primate and a creature of the wilderness. Over the years, hundreds have claimed to see him, yet the evidence usually consists of blurry photographs, shaky videos, and oversized footprints. The most well-known evidence is the 1967 Patterson-Gimlin film, which captured a large figure striding into the woods, turning its head briefly toward the camera. That short piece of footage became legendary. Eyewitnesses have added their own stories. I was driving down a forest road when I saw him. A tall, long-armed figure stepped across the path. He didn't run, he just stopped and looked at me. Some researchers suggest the Bigfoot legend might have roots in Gigantopithecus, a giant ape species that once roamed parts of Asia. Bigfoot is often compared to the Yeti or abominable snowman, but the two are different. Bigfoot is said to dwell in the forests of North America, while the Yeti is linked to the icy Himalayan mountains. Bigfoot is typically described as having dark fur, while the Yeti is portrayed with white. Is Bigfoot real? Science has found no concrete proof, yet the story endures, fueling curiosity and reminding us that the natural world may still hold secrets. Some legends speak of creatures born of nature. Others tell of beings shaped by human hands, built to protect but capable of much more. The next creature is among the most enigmatic. The golem, a towering figure shaped not by birth but by human hands. According to legend, the golem is formed from clay and brought to life through mystical rites. It follows only the commands of its maker, carrying out any task until, at times, it becomes too powerful to control. Descriptions portray it as a massive humanoid of earth, with rough features and a vacant, unfeeling gaze. Some stories claim it can grow to twice, even 3 times, the height of an ordinary person. The tale of the golem comes from Jewish folklore. The most famous account tells of a 16th century rabbi in Prague who crafted a golem to defend the Jewish community from harm. To animate the creature, he inscribed the Hebrew word emet, meaning truth, on its forehead. To deactivate it, he erased the first letter, leaving met, meaning death. The golem's influence continues in modern culture. In the game Minecraft, the iron golem guards villages, introducing this ancient myth to new generations. Does a golem exist outside of stories? There is no evidence, and many see it as a symbol, a warning of how strength and knowledge, if misused, can become dangerous. If a golem exists at all, perhaps it dwells not in some hidden cellar, but within the human imagination. A creature molded from earth is one thing, but what about a beast stitched together by nature's own chaos? Part lion, part serpent, part nightmare. The final creature in this video is the chimera. In ancient Greek mythology, she was described as having the body of a lion, a goat's head rising from her back, and a serpent for a tail. To make her even more fearsome, she could breathe fire, an unnatural and terrifying combination. The chimera was said to be the child of Typhon and Echidna, 2 of the most dangerous figures in Greek legend. She ravaged the region region of Lycia until the hero Bellerophon, mounted on the winged horse Pegasus, brought her down. Few realize that the term chimera still appears in modern science. It is used to describe organisms that carry genetic material from different species. For instance, a mouse with human brain cells is technically a chimera, though a far more scientific version than the beast of myth. Today, the chimera appears in video games, novels, and anime, often representing fear, hybridity, and untamed power. Perhaps she is more than a monster. Perhaps she embodies the things we cannot fully understand or control. Does the chimera exist? No, but her image continues to inspire creators and unsettle imaginations with its chaos. Which of these legendary creatures do you believe might still have a trace of reality? Share your thoughts below, and if this exploration triggered your curiosity, subscribe to uncover more real-life mysteries hidden in legend.